had to inhale a banned substance to protect my identity. I was 24, fresh out of the police academy, and thrown into the deep end during the Asbury Park riots in '70. The streets were chaos, fires, screams, and broken glass everywhere. I was just a kid, ex-Marine, trying to keep my head down while the world burned around me. That was my first taste of what it meant to be a cop. But the real insanity? That came later when I went undercover for the New Jersey State Police. They picked me because I could blend in. I'm Puerto Rican, spoke fluent Spanish, and had a knack for looking like I belonged in places most cops couldn't touch. By the late '70s, I was neck deep in the narcotics world, infiltrating organized crime in the Latin community. 14 years of lying, scheming, and pretending I was someone else. My name's Anthony, by the way. Never liked throwing that around back then. Too risky. The job is a grind. You're always on edge, watching every word, every glance. One slip, and you're done, either dead or burned. The worst night of my life was in '82, during a buy in some grimy Newark warehouse. I was posing as a mid-level dealer, trying to get in tight with his crew running coke for a cartel. These guys weren't amateurs. They were sharp, paranoid, and armed to the teeth. The deal was simple. Prove I was legit, score a kilo, and get out with enough intel to bring them down. We're in this dimly lit room, maybe 10 of us, and the table's got a pile of coke on it like something out of a movie. The head guy, Carlos, was this wiry dude with eyes that could cut glass. He's watching me like a hawk, and I'm sweating bullets under my leather jacket. Then he slides a knife across the table and says, "Show us your reel, man. Take a hit." I freeze. I'm not a user, never was. But if I say no, I'm as good as dead. So I grab a knife, scoop up a amount of that shit, way more than I meant to, and snort like my life depends on it. Because it does. The burn hits like a freight train, and my head's spinning before I even sit back. Gram of coke, straight to the dome. My heart's pounding so hard I think it's gonna burst through my ribs. I'm trying to play it cool, but the coke's got me wired. Paranoia kicks in hard. I'm convinced they know I'm a cop. Every laugh, every whisper feels like a gun in my head. I can't breathe right, and the room's closing in. I mumble something about needing air and stumble outside to the alley, gasping like I just ran a marathon. My hands are shaking, and I'm ready to either bolt or throw a punch if anyone follows me. Then one of the guys, Eddie, comes out. He's this big, quiet dude who always seemed less cutthroat than the rest. I'm bracing for a fight, but he just looks at me, eyes wide, and goes, "Man, I've never seen someone snort that much at once. You okay?" I let out this shaky laugh, relief flooding through me. "Yeah, never done that much. Kinda hard to breathe, you know?" He chuckles, hands me a beer from inside, and we light up a couple cigarettes. The guy's actually nice. We talk for a bit, and the crew inside starts joking that I've got the heart of a lion for railing that line. That night messed me up. Eddie was one of the ones we took down when the bust finally happened a few months later. I felt like shit about it. He wasn't some kingpin. He was just a guy caught up in the life, same as a lot of them. I tried to pull some strings, get him a reduced sentence. But the system doesn't care about your feelings. He got 10 years. I still think about him sometimes, wondering if he made it out okay. The kicker? That wasn't even the craziest night of my career. There was this one time in '85, during a sting in Patterson, where I ended up in a car chase with a dealer who thought I'd stolen his stash. Turns out his own crew was skimming, and I was just the scapegoat. I'm flooring through back streets, dodging bullets, and my backup's nowhere to be found. But that's a story for another day. What's the wildest thing you've done to keep a secret? Drop it in the comments or vote. Ever been a life or death lie? Yes/no.